Oh, this is Creeper Wars again. It's been a while since I posted anything on YouTube, but I acquired a new project in daily driver for right now because the Subaru decided to blow a head gasket and I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. But some of you are looking at this front end and know exactly what this car is right off the bat, and others have no idea what this is. This is a 1986 Buick Skyhawk T-Type. I've had it for several months now, done a little bit of work here and there. Sorry, my camera's struggling to focus here for some reason. But repainted the headlight bezel because it was really sun damaged. Still got the factory fog lights. Put the front plate on it just to give it the rest of that old person feel. I had it laying around, so why not put it on something? As far as this car, it's in really good running order. I will give it that. The suspension, from it being 86, handles very nicely. It's pretty stiff still. It's the 5-lug rims here. They're Buick T-Type. And these are 14-inch wheels, but they're not in bad shape. The whole car needs a bath, so don't mind that. It's just a little dirty. The doors were replaced because the whole bottom section here, like the whole length of the door, was rusted out. So luckily the previous owner replaced them, and I started doing some work here just to prevent rust from occurring again. So she's a little ugly and she needs a little bit of work, but that's in due time. Basically, once it gets warmer, I'll take care of it. If you walk around the car more, she does have some surface rust going on, but it is very solid yet. Wheel arches still, I mean, they're perfectly the way they should be. They're not smashed up or nothing. Taillights are in great condition, which I hope they stay that way because I'm sure it's going to be impossible to find these taillights again. Because I've done a little research on this car. There's only about 23,000 of these still on the road today. This one came with the trunk rack, which is on there very well still. It's not even, it doesn't even wiggle. Little surface rust here. I mean, if you walk around the car, there's a little pinholes there. There's some forming down here. But it's all body work that needs done. I took off the rest of the molding because some of it was missing because of the doors being replaced. She's very faded, as you can tell. But the last owner basically let it sit for probably a good year. Wasn't washed, nothing, had moss on it, so this is definitely an upgrade from when I got it. It's trying to shine up again, but she's still in really rough condition. Some of the stuff is trying to fall off, like the mirrors were in bad shape, and repainted them for now until I get to them permanently and get them done. This molding was re-glued back on, and just the other day the molding off this window fell off. I managed to keep it. I don't know if I want to re-glue it now that it's completely off. I actually don't mind the way it looks. And the cool thing about these windows is these things just scream 80s. I'm sure you can see that hinge already. Got some motorcycles because it's 64 degrees right now, but so don't mind the noise. But yeah, these are the windows on the back. They pop out, and I have used them. This car becomes a wind tunnel when those things are open. But a lot easier to do from inside. I'm doing it from the driver door, reaching back. But the interior, like I said, needs a little help. Seats are falling apart. you're gonna have to bear with me a second here. There's some guy, I guess, getting his bike ready for today, so he's getting ready to pass. So, just give me a second here. Can't really blame him on that. I just did the same thing with my bike, but doing some work to the door here. Trying to do some rust prevention. Just blacked out the whole door before I put the door panel on, because when I got this car it didn't have the door panel, neither did that one. I had window issues with that door twice now, and I think it's getting ready to fall off its track again. I replaced the rail guards, which are, if you can see down in here, see that? See if I can get my finger in there. This little black thing right here is the window slide rail guards. Basically what helps the window go up and down in these rails, and they're cheap plastic and they like to break, so it's kind of annoyance there. But alright, as far as the interior, it's in pretty good shape. I mean, steering wheel here, this is just plastic. I'm probably gonna get an aluminum one cut and then put on, but this decided to crack. Turn signal switch, wiper fluid, control, I mean the wiper blade, this thing does everything. It's peeling, the chrome's falling off of it, but not really a big deal here. It's an 80s car, so obviously the dash is starting to do its thing, because it's leather, peeling real bad and trying to separate, especially over here. It's shrinking up. I'm gonna have to somehow either figure out how to fix that or just get a new dash cover made. Same with these vents, 80s, so they don't like to stay down. Like, it's kind of down right now, but I guarantee you as soon as I take this on the road and hit a bump, that'll pop right open. Same with the other side here, it does the same thing. Nope, that one won't even stay down. Let's see here. This car came factory with the coin and money clip. Right now I just have my glasses wipe in there because there's no way in hell I'm storing money in there. I live in York, so that's a terrible idea to stick money in there. Glove box. Can't say much about it. It's got little cup holders there. Not really cup holders, but you know, you're sitting still, you can sit your drink there, but when you're driving, you definitely don't want to leave your drink there. Still have the original booklet here, owner's manual. It's not in bad shape. I should probably take it out of the car before, you know, it gets ruined, but all my insurance, keep that in there. Original books are in here, so that's a nice thing to have. When I first got this car, the headliner was falling down, so I just ripped it down until I get it reupholstered. Actually, I don't mind it because it doesn't look bad, and I'm glad I did it because you can see this mark right here. That's tape. Up above the headliner, I managed to find a slip of paper that indicated every factory option that came on this car, like the fog lights, leather trim here's and there's, just stupid little things. What this car actually sold for brand new, where it came from brand new. I mean, that was up there above the headliner, which is, I've never seen that before. I mean, I took it down. If you touch it, it like deteriorates in your fingertips. So I gotta get a frame for that and keep it. But I'm currently cleaning the car today because it's so nice out. So, but yeah, the interior is in pretty good condition for an 80s car. I mean, the back seats aren't really that torn. They're starting to tear on the back. Carpeting in this thing is in immaculate condition. The floor mats are being cleaned right now. But she is an automatic. Ashtray. We got, these things are stubborn. Sometimes they want to eject another. There they are. You got the tape holder, which holds 3 tapes: fog light switch, defroster, cassette player, AM FM radio. You got the heater controls, which I love them. They're simple and they still work. They're vacuum controlled, so every once in a while you hear a nice little hiss, which is fantastic. The horn works pretty well. Love that classic car horn. As far as the back seat, I did show you a little bit. It's got a ashtray back here. Pop-up third tail light. But yeah, it's in great shape. Drives, runs perfectly. It does have a little oil leak coming from the oil cap, which here I'll get to that in a second. Actually here, before I get to that, this is my daily driver, so I keep fluids in it and keep a little basic tools, but same with my Subaru. Do the same thing with that. For as small as this car is, it's got a pretty big trunk and it's pretty deep. There's a full-size spare under there, which is surprising. Even though it's like 64 degrees outside, it is winter, so it's only February 7th, I believe. So, or 6th, one of the two. I don't forget what today's date is. All I do is work, so it blurs together. But yeah, the trunk's great shape. Original exhaust for the most part. But let's check out the engine. Like I said, it is an automatic, so that would make it the 3-speed auto. And like I said, the oil cap is leaking. I did take it apart and put a new gasket in there, but the gasket's not holding up. So I'm gonna have to do it again, make one a little bit better, because they don't just sell the gasket, and I'm not buying a new oil cap because I'd prefer to keep this original. It's a little bit of a mess in here. This is the 1.8 liter inline 4-cylinder. Produced 88 horsepower and 86 with roughly 98 foot-pounds of torque, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for as light as this car is, because I did roll across the scales, this car currently weighs 2,250 pounds, which is beyond light for all this American steel. It just recently had an AC delete. I just yanked it out of there because I was having problems with it, and the compressor bearings were starting to go out, and they started to squeal really badly because of it not being used, I guess, and not getting the correct compression. But let me give it a fire up here.
Homecoming on private.
But as you can hear, she runs quiet and she runs smooth. It's simple. You just got the crank pulley down there. You got the power steering pulley right there, and you got the alternator. That's all the pulleys that's on this car. Yeah, but she runs good. I gotta get a bulb for the hood. I don't know why it's removed. Probably because it malfunctioned or something. So I'll get a bulb and address what might be the issues there. And I gotta figure out where I can find a cover for this. Because, I mean, I don't mind it, but at the same time, I don't like this giant open hole here. So, but the car's simple, which is a plus. Nothing really electronic to make it act up. Let me give it a little. There we go. And if I take off this cover here, the air filter's under there. It's carbureted with electronic fuel assist. There is a carburetor under there. So, I guess that's when they started trying to get away from carburation and trying to get to fuel injection. It works pretty efficiently. This car averages 39.8 miles per gallon. And about, that's city, 39.8 city. Highway is roughly about 43 because I push her a little hard. When she gets on the highway, she wants to fly. Top speed supposedly on this car is 103. I don't know how fast I've gotten this car because the speedo on this car only goes to 85. So, but not for long, this motor will be swapped out of here because I'd like to keep the motor on the side just in case. That way if I ever want to sell it, I have the original motor and trans. But this summer it is getting motor swapped. Something that produces 155 horsepower and 153 foot-pounds of torque. I'm not going to reveal that now. That'll be down the road, and you'll see the progress on that as I'm doing it. But like I said, that's just an adventure down the road because I think I'm going to turn this into a slight race car. Just give it some more juice, lower it a little bit because the ground clearance on this car is ridiculous. It sits pretty high. So, but yeah, that's basically the somewhat basic plan that you'll see down the road. And that's just a general walkthrough of my 86 Skyhawk T-Type. I'm sure it getting warmer, you're going to be seeing a lot more videos of this car. A lot more videos of the Ninja. But before I start the Buick project, I've really got to get my baby on the road. I miss my Subi. And now because it's been sitting, the battery's dead, so now I have to buy another battery on top of all the other parts I have to get for it. But, alright, well, you've seen her, and you'll be seeing a lot of her this summer. So, if you're interested, just stay tuned.